Well, good glorious afternoon, everyone. It's about time I got back to you, right? I have missed you all. Um, it's been a nice little bit of a hiatus, but I'd rather be here with you. So, anyway, um, may I explain? I have been working, as most of you know, um, and it was quite a bit of an adventurous journey, merging into a scenario that was somewhat familiar, but then somewhat, there were things to learn. So I learned some things, okay? A lot of things about me, and a lot of things about others, and a lot more things about the application of Ayurveda in our health concerns. And so today I am really, really happy to be back with you, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about food. Okay, one of our favorite subjects, and one of sometimes our most confusing subjects. And it seems a little strange to me that the thing that kind of sort of sustains us in this life can be a thing that is so frustrating and confusing. And we have so many views and so many opinions all out there. Eat this, not that. That is not good. Organic is better. All these wonderful things. So I'm going to narrow it down to some things and with some practical applications today. One thing that Ayurveda, one of the reasons that I even started pursuing learning about Ayurveda is that I grew up, some of you know, in a little bitty town called Silsbee, kind of a rural area, a country type of area. And I grew up for the most part of my life, for the formative years of my life, in the home with a great grandmother, a grandmother, and the mom and dad. So, generally, very family oriented. So I wasn't carted off to the daycare at 6 weeks and exposed to all kinds of different things. And from as far back as I could remember, I went out into the garden early in the mornings with my great grandmother, and we planted a lot of what we ate. We planted corn and okra and greens and green beans and even pinto beans. Okay, there was a certain type of green beans that if you picked them at a certain time, they were snap beans, and then if you picked them later, it seemed it was a very long time ago, but I still think it was the same beans. And then you let them grow a little bit more, and you could shell them, and they were pinto beans. Um, and peas, and black-eyed peas, and purple hull peas, and butter beans, and potatoes, and things like that came right out of the backyard. Okay, um, I knew the beekeepers when I lived in Silsbee. I could drive out to their home and purchase a jar of perfectly just honey, just right out of the comb, you know. Um, Not pasteurized, not added with Karo syrup or anything like this. I actually learned at one point how to churn butter. Okay, yeah. Don't ask me my age, but then ask me my age, because at this age I think I look very good for it, and I'm moving very well. Every now and then I overdo in the day, and my body tells me next morning, you did what? You're gonna pay for that, girlfriend. Oh yeah, don't laugh at me. Some of you are out there doing the same thing. But what brought me to Ayurveda was the way that I grew up and my great grandmother. I can remember my great grandmother saying or talking about her constitution. Now, in Ayurveda, that's considered doshas, okay? And it has to do with your particular genetic makeup and keeping that balanced, okay? Now, some people are classified as Vata predominant. Vata is about air and movement, vayu, breath, okay? A lot of movement mostly. So Vata people are going to be a little bit anxious and a little bit flighty and a little bit, moving around kind of folks, okay? Very generally energetic. Then there is, let's go back into Vata. Vata is also associated with a certain time of day, okay? And that's going to be your evening hours, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, it's from 6 to 10 p.m. or, no, I'm wrong. It's from, okay, it's from 2 p.m. to about 6 p.m., okay? Kind of like that afternoon time. All right, so that's your Vata time. And this is going to be important because I'm going to explain to you how it ties in. Okay, so Vata time is going to be between 2 and 6. And we're going to say p.m. And it's also going to be about 2 and 6 a.m. Okay? As you got a 24-hour period, and I'll explain kind of what goes on with that. Now think about our kind of normal behavior, okay, and think about Vata time, and think about Vata people, okay. Vata time is when we return to the desk after lunch, okay, and we're really trying to crank out that work. That's kind of after the fire has been turned up, okay, and after the fire has been turned up when you're cooking, okay, you get things to a certain place, okay. Say for instance you're making stew. You got to get the water to a boil at some point or another. You got to get the height of everything up, and then you're going to begin to slowly kind of cool it down. All right. So this is kind of what happens, but in that slow cool down process, there's a lot going on, okay? And so this is kind of what's going on with the Vata time of day. You're going to move gently into that Kapha time. Okay, we'll get there in a minute. So Vata is from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then there's Pitta. Pitta is like one of my favorites. It's part of me. They're Pitta people. Pitta is about the heat of the day, okay? That time between about 11 and 2, or 10 and 2. 10 and 2. So between 10 and 2, now when I was growing up, about 11:30 in the morning, we could play outside, we could plant in the garden, all those kinds of things. About 11:30, the kids were called inside. We were inside because my great-grandmother said that when the sun is at its zenith, and this is what she called it, at the zenith, that hot point, at the highest place, it's when you're inside, okay? You're sheltered or you're covered to some degree. You don't work with intensity when the sun is working at intensity, okay? It's just not healthy. So here's the deal. You're cooking again, okay? You get that water to a boil, and then you don't just boil it forever. You have a certain amount of time that you're going to boil it. You get it to a certain intensity. When you get that, let's say for instance you're going to make some rice, okay? You get that water up to a boiling, and then in a little bit you're going to need to turn it down to simmer so you don't burn up everything, okay? So Pitta is about metabolism, about changing things, transforming things, turning up the fires, okay? Your passions. All right, and Pitta is from 10 till 2. Yeah, 10 to 2. 10 to 2 in the day, and 10 to 2 in the night, okay? And it pretty much does the same thing the whole time, but I'll explain that to you in a little bit. Now Kapha, which is also a part of my makeup, because I'm Pitta Kapha. And Kapha is about earth and stability. And these are your strong, bigger people, generally very loving, very kind, very peaceful. These are the peacemakers, okay? This time of day is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Kappa is cool, okay? The day goes off into the night and things kind of cool down, all right? Same thing with the morning, all right? So Vata, lots of movement, lots of air. Pitta, lots of fire, okay? And Kapha is about earth, all right? Now with these three elements, we can imagine that there's going to need to be some balance, all right? So now let's take that into consideration where food is concerned. And I want to talk about food today because in talking about food, we've got so much going on, and people don't realize that knowing who you are and responding to your body. If you're eating a lot of spices and you're a Pitta person and it's going into summertime, this is not the time to eat that sriracha sauce and go for a walk in the middle of the day. Okay? You will quite likely have a headache. You will quite likely get heartburn. You will quite likely get acid reflux. You will quite likely have rashes break out or things going on with your eyes. Okay? Because these are Pitta things. Okay? And these times also coincide with certain times of the year. Now, going back to food, when I was growing up, we could not get watermelons in January. And there's no such thing as a personal sized watermelon. That's just 50 shades of wrong right there. Watermelons are supposed to be huge and have a lot of seeds so the kids can get some and the grown-ups can get some and the cousins can have some and the aunts and uncles can have some. The thing was like this big, okay, with seeds. The seeds had a purpose. Every seed has a purpose, okay? And so what I'm going to talk about today is organic foods, hybrid foods, and alkaline foods. And I want to talk about alkaline foods because we're entering a season where the weather's about to warm up. We're all ready for spring. Now, in the area where you live, pay attention to what's being naturally grown locally, okay? Because that is what you are supposed to eat, okay? So we're coming out with fresh vegetables, all right? Now, most of them are just being planted, okay, and just coming into fruition right now. But from my perspective, from what I remember, we were putting seeds in the ground just a little before Good Friday and stuff such as that. And so then by the time the summer came on, we were harvesting things. But there are certain things that they're actually being grown now that are coming forth, okay? The end of February, 1st of March area. March, like right about this season, okay? March into April is when strawberries are coming, okay? So we're getting berries and things like this, okay? And these things are important in the time of the year. Eating them in season, okay? Eating what's in season. We have them in various places that we can ship anything from anywhere, but if it's not grown locally, it's not really going to be in your season unless you're traveling a lot and eating what's seasonal in those local areas, okay? And also what your body will digest. So we're right here on the crux of spring. Actually, I think today is the first day of spring. And so start paying attention. And those of us who are online savvy, who are tech savvy, who are on the internet and things like this, Google. Or as my granddaughter told me one time, you can goggle it. She was still in the process of learning English, okay? And she spoke Spanish. It was her native tongue, and so she says, "Oh, Grammy, you can goggle anything." But anyway, so you can goggle it, and goggle what foods are growing, in locally during this season. All right, and then place that along with your constitution. So if you're a very Vata person, okay, lots of movement, lots of air. It's going to cause you to, if you're out of balance and your Vata is like way out there, you quite likely will have problems with dry skin, dry hair, maybe dry eyes, and most of all, dry colon, dry process internally. You might have more trouble with constipation, all right? So things that are hard and dry, all right? When the wind comes and dries up all the water out of the earth, it's hard and dry. So, and you are made from the earth. So part of your constitution says you need something warm and moist. You need a little more oil. And don't just go slathering lotions on your bodies, but get the foods and eat the foods that are going to be warm and moist. Instead of a dry piece of toast, okay? Have toast with some ghee or some butter. Now, butter is important. We don't want the margarine, and I'm sorry, we don't want the health balance stuff and the trans this and the olive oil, canola oil blends and all this kind of stuff. Believe me, people, when I was growing up, things were simple. A fig was a fig. It had one ingredient, period. It didn't need no label, all right? Butter was butter, okay? Yeah, simple as that, all right? So let's get back to the simplicity of life, okay? If you are Vata and you are having trouble with dry skin, dry cough, dry eyes, anything dry, do the opposite. That's what's going to balance you, okay? Eat the opposite. Now we're still in a cool season. We're still in a bit of a dry season, and so if you're a Vata person, this is a time to still consume little soups and stews, okay? And add some butter. Our ghee, your good oils, coconut oil, sesame oil, okay? These are prominent and good for you, okay? Now, if you're a Pitta person and things are warming up, you can pretty much eat whatever you want to because you are the fire and it's gonna burn it up, okay? You can eat more frequent and more foods. You can have a balance of the warm and moist and the dry. You can have the crackers and the salad and this sorts of things, and it's pretty much all going to work with you because you're going to work it off and you're going to burn it up. Now, if you're Kapha and quite a bit like me, you have a tendency to be a little fluctuating, and it's sometimes hard to kind of keep your balance. Now, with me, Pitta will go up and I think, okay, I need to eat. And then if I eat too much, then more kapha is all over the place. I become bigger and sturdier and that sort of a thing. So those things play a balance. Now, a kapha person, if they're feeling a little bit off balance, pay attention to what your body is asking for, okay? Not too much oil and not too much sweets if you don't want to build more of you, okay? What you eat becomes you, all right? Now, we're in a season where everybody's talking about detoxing, spring cleaning, da-da-da-da-da. You're going to spring clean your house, so you need to spring clean your body, okay? Now, when I was growing up, about this time of year, we'd get a spoonful of castor oil, followed by a spoonful of honey, but we had to do the castor oil thing. And we also got something called Scott's emulsion. I don't know that they even make that anymore, but we got those on a regular basis. And those things go into you internally and get things moving out to clean out your body, okay? Oil enemas, not Epsom salt, not rough water. I've heard about the coffee enemas and things like that. Not too many of us are into doing an enema. But if you're really, really messed up, don't let that be out of the question, all right? There are guidelines, and give me a call. I'll help you through it if you think you need to go there, all right? If you're having a lot of trouble with gas and bloating, if you're having a lot of trouble with low back pain, if you're having a lot of trouble with constipation, all right? And over the course of the last 6 months, coming in from fall and winter, going into the spring, your body's accumulated stuff because it's been keeping some sludge stuff in there just to kind of keep you warm. All right? But this is a good time of year to start pursuing vegetables and fruits to do a more alkaline type of eating, okay? Because as we go into the season of fresh fruits and vegetables being available, then that's where we're going to go. So kind of gradually start getting yourself there with the fruits and nuts and berries, okay? Things that are coming in, that are coming up, this time of the year, all right? And by summer, you would do very well to be going more forcefully into an alkaline diet, okay? Why? Because the summertime is going to be pitta time. It's going to be a time when it's hot, when things are intense, and you don't want heat rashes spoiling your summer bathing suit vacation and all these sorts of things. So if you're going to go with a more alkaline diet, so this is going to be a lot of fruits and vegetables, okay? Yes, you can have your meat, but you're going to cut back on the rice and the potatoes and the starchy foods, okay? The starchy foods are going to require more acid to be in your body to break them down, to metabolize, things like this. And meat, a big one. I'm not a vegetarian by any means, but I have cut way, way, way back on the meat just because I'm beginning to be aware of what it does to my body. So for those of you who like to Google, okay, look up alkaline diets, benefits of alkaline diets, alkaline food list, okay, and detoxification for the liver and the kidneys. But you kind of want a gentle overall detoxification. Now, I'm going to bring up khichdi because khichdi is still a big part of, and khichdi is like totally Ayurvedic, okay? So khichdi brings you beans and rice and a mixture of spices that incorporate all 6 tastes, all right? And those spices, you could go on a khichdi fast for like 10 days, eat nothing but khichdi. And I don't believe that, unless you're overdoing it seriously, I don't believe that you would do any harm to yourself, and I don't believe you would gain one bit of weight. If you do a few other things along with that, you'll wind up that your body begins to gently begin to get accustomed to and breaking down things, and then you're eliminating a little bit more than you would be, eating a regular diet. So eating this time of year and the changes that we're going to make with eating this time of year are going to have great, great health benefits. Now, I am an Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle counselor, okay? Yay! Got my diploma. And what I want you to understand is I can guide you through this process. I do have information for you. So if you want to personally text me, 408-917-9013. We'll make an appointment and let's have you doing things naturally. I don't think that you have to take a purple pill every day in order to eat. Ew. I don't think all the answers are in a bottle, okay? And I don't think that we should be going to the doctor every time we have something that is our body's way of saying, ouch, ouch, I don't like this, and we're getting a pill from the doctor that says, shut up. The body talks to you for a reason, okay? You talk to your partners, you talk to your loved ones, you talk to your boss, you talk to your employees for a reason. You're getting a message across. So when your body's talking to you, it's trying to get a message across. Okay, it's telling you, listen to your constitution. Okay, follow what balances you. Okay, eat according to your doshas, eat according to the seasons, eat according to what is available for you locally and what is going to be best. Now, we talked a little bit about alkaline. I cannot stress the importance of organic. And I don't know why they make the things that are good for us like this expensive, and the poison we can get for like $3-4. You can feed a multitude, but it's not going to satisfy. My experience with the difference between organic and just anything else, and I've had time to pay attention to this at this point in my life, is that if I eat, and I like Fuji apples, if I eat a Fuji apple, and I've done this test more than once because I just couldn't believe it almost. If I eat a Fuji apple and it's organic, then I'm satisfied. And I got what I wanted, I got what I needed at the end of the apple, I'm done. All right? When I have eaten a Fuji apple, I got the taste, I got the flavor, I got the juiciness. 20 minutes after I'd eaten my apple, I still wanted to eat something. Okay? After I ate my apple initially, I still wanted to eat something. And if I didn't, 20 minutes later, I had like a hunger response. Like my body wanted to eat something. Because it did not get the nutrients and the stimulation that my digestive system or that my body needed. And so I was not satisfied. Your food should be satisfying. From the time you either pick it up in the produce section of the store, it should appeal to your eyes, the vibration, the holding of it in your hands. You know, some people squeeze the orange a little bit or squeeze the avocado a little bit. How it feels in your hands lets you know how ready it is for you, for your dinner, okay? Pick up those greens and half of it's, lacy looking or yellow looking, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Food has a vibration, a resonance, a calling for you. And you've passed by certain people's plates in the restaurant, things, oh, that looks good. What was that? I think I'll have that because it looked good. Eye appeal, touch appeal, smell appeal, okay? You got 5 senses. We call these Pancha Mahabhutas. And it's all about your earth, your wind, your fire, your water, and the ether, okay? The ether is about your consciousness, that thing that you cannot see, but you just know that it has an importance, all right? So have this kind of relationship with your food. And don't forget to bless your food. No matter what you eat, where you're traveling, stop for a moment. And sometimes I'll just, kind of put my hands over my food and send it loving energy and ask that it provides for my highest well-being. Bless this food, oh Lord, we pray. Make it safe by night and day. Help it take my hunger away and give me energy for this day. I learned that many, many years ago. I kind of still have it, okay? Bless your food. Put some love into it before you put it in your mouth. Look at it. Smell it. I know, we're sitting around a table. It's a business meeting, and they put your food down, and so, yabba, 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 yabba. Oh, yes, the stock market. Yabba, 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 yabba. Okay, let's calm it down. This is a good time for socialization, but look at your food, bless your food, and pick it up and eat it. See what it tastes like in your mouth, because that's where metabolism starts, okay? That's where the digestive process totally starts, in your mouth. So let your eyes see it. If that salad is nice and crisp, you can hear it. Okay, if that steak is sizzling, you can hear it. Okay, if those chips or those crackers are crunchy, you can hear it. Okay, get it in your mouth and just taste it and feel it and enjoy the experience of the food. And your friends as well, okay? And then about time you are feeling a little bit warm and cozy and getting some satisfaction from your food, you can elevate your conversation. That doesn't mean that you're just not talking while you're eating. However, some cultures do totally not talk while they're eating. They finish the food and then they start talking. All right? These are things to bring into our practices so that we're not getting up from the table not being satisfied with anything, not with the company that we kept, not with the food that we ate, or then there are times of us that we are eating and we're lonely, okay? And then the next thing you know, we've tried to fill that void with another person. And a few weeks down the road, we look in the mirror and we're the size of another person. Okay? So, food is important. It's time to do a little bit of detoxing. It's time to do some spring cleaning for your bodies. I've got some information that can help you if you're still dealing with the quote-unquote allergy season. I've got secrets about allergy season. Some of it is real, okay? I understand where you are. I accept the concept, but how would you like to be allergy-free and not have to take Claritin and Allegro and snort this or that? Seriously? There was a time that people existed without those. My grandmother never took one. My great-grandmother, I never saw her have that. Of course, now we had Scott's emulsion and castor oil. So, go as drastic as you want. Okay, 408-917-9013. Let's talk about being allergy-free. So we go into spring enjoying the flowers, okay? We're not supposed to be allergic to the birds and the bees. We live right here with them. Okay? Let's talk about that. Give me a call. All right. I think I did touch a little bit on food. Food is important. And I think right about now I'm ready for some lunch. So I'm going to go do that. I will look forward to talking to you. You give me a call. And I'm going to be posting some other things about food that I'm going to have a list in front of me and go straight down the line and give you more detailed information on my YouTube channel in a video. Okay, great. So it was wonderful to see you guys again. I hope that it's going to be wonderful for you to see me again. And remember, I love you all.